So we are going to talk about secure attachment styles. We have done many conversations, almost in all of our conversations. The topic of insecure attachment styles come up in the picture, and they play an extremely, extremely important role in our growth, our personal development, the way we evolve, the way we look at things, the way we understand things, so on and so forth. One thing is pretty much inherent for us to understand before we move forward, and that is that we cannot actually reach the secure attachment style without solving the insecure attachment style. So it's an inherent condition for us to become secure in life is by first dissolving whatever insecurities, fears, and whatever insecure attachments that we have within us. And most of the people who have joined us, at least half of the people who have joined us, they have been connected to us for some time, so they pretty much understand the importance of this. So the intention of today's topic is to give everybody a wider viewpoint and perspective towards looking into the secure attachment style and what people who have secure attachment style actually look like, so that if there are any gaps that are left on your healing journey and you feel that maybe out of 20 things there's this one thing which is left out which you need to work upon, so you may find that in today's conversation. So that's the intention of today's conversation. Now, what could be the possible attributes of people who have secure attachment style? And we will look at this also in terms of behaviors. So this is going to be very practical, and because there's no better way for us to understand our attachment styles than understanding how they actually play out in our outer environment, in our conversation, or in our the way we interact in our relationships, the way we respond to different things. So what are the attributes? The first attribute that comes to my mind that is there when we are in a secure attachment style, and that attribute is self-esteem, self-worth. So people who have secure attachment styles, they tend to have a good self-esteem, a good self-worth, and a good self-image, self-respect, and self-acceptance, all of these things. And that is, kind of having like a really healthy relationship with yourself. And as we all can see in our lives, that life, at the end boils down to relationship. So everything in life is somewhere directly, indirectly is connected to relationships. And the outer relationships that we have in our life, be it with a romantic partner, be it with our colleagues or our friends or our family members or any person that we encounter in our life, the way the interactions happen in the outside environment are it's actually a very much a reflection of the relationship that we have with ourselves. So that is the first characteristic of people with secure attachment style, that they have a really healthy relationship with themselves. Now, what else does having a healthy relationship with yourself include? One is, all of these points that I said: self-esteem, self-worth, self-acceptance, self-love, so on and so forth. So the self-talk that we have with ourselves changes completely. So having a secure attachment style does not at any point mean that, oh, now you don't encounter problems in your life. You always encounter problems in your life. Even if you become enlightened, you encounter problems in your life. You can read the history of all the enlightened beings and you would see that they also had problems in their lives. The problems don't go away because it's life and they remain an integral part of life. That's how life is. But the attitude towards handling those problems changes completely. So the belief system, the self-talk, the self-communication, the relationship that we have with ourselves, that becomes really healthy, positive, and more, I should say, integrated in a way where, it's like you are growing in an expanded cycle. So it's not like you hit the wall sometime in life and the communication goes on like, oh, I am not capable of this. Oh, this is not possible. Oh, life is unfair. Life is not injustice is happening, and so on and so forth. That type of conversation is not something which a secure attachment style person would do. First thing. So now, what is the second thing? Second point that I can remember is taking complete ownership and responsibility. Now, what it means to take complete ownership and responsibility? It means that it feels very good to most of us, when we are in insecure attachment style. And, whenever we succeed in life, do something good in life, something goes right and according to how we want it, it's so easy for us to take ownership and responsibility. But when things do not work out in our life, we tend to get into a downward spiral. And again, the negative self-talk, negative belief systems, and everything, starts coming up on the surface, and we are like so miserable and so in such a bad shape once again. To have ownership and responsibility means that, okay, this thing happened. Okay, maybe this is not how I wanted it to happen, but I now take ownership and responsibility and see how I respond to this and what I do about it. So a secure attachment style person does not live by victim mentality. That doesn't mean that they never feel like low or all of these things. That's okay. But they catch up and they repair themselves and they come back and they see that, okay, now what I need to do, let me do it. So there's a lot of resilience, there's a lot of perspective that comes into picture when it comes to taking ownership and responsibility. That was the second point. The third important thing is interdependence. Interdependence means that secure attachment style people are neither all about themselves, that only I have to do things, I cannot ask for help, other people will not help me, or if I ask for help, they're gonna think that, oh, I'm such a weak person, I cannot do things on my own. Or if I ask them, then they will feel that I'm not, how can I ask that I am a bad person for asking for something. They completely believe in interdependence. So there will be times in life where we cannot do everything, right? And it's good to take help. It's the quality, it's like a strength to be able to take help from other people, tell them, ask them. And also when it comes to us taking responsibility of our relationships, we take that as well. So secure attachment style people believe in interdependence, neither extreme dependence or clinginess that, oh my god, abhi ye banda meri life se chala gaya ya bandi chali gayi, to ab to mera jeena hi bekar hai, now my life has no meaning, now there's no point for me to live. They do not go in that kind of downward spiral. They also do not go in that type of downward spiral ki, mujhe koi nahi chahiye. Not extreme avoidance or extreme clinginess or neediness, that other people give you meaning of your life, or it's of no meaning to have other people in your life. So interdependence is in the middle. And this helps them to sustain the right kind of relationships, and not easily, but in a self-regulated, smooth way, let go of relationships or things in life which are not meant for them. So these people do not hold on to relationships and things just because they need to they get meaning out of those things. They also don't continue to run away from those things. They sustain the right things and let go of the things. They have this kind of awareness that they know that which one I need to sustain and what I need to let go of. So there's a lot of awareness that comes into picture. These people are self-aware. That is one important point as well. So that is about interdependence. Now, as I talk about self-awareness, these people are also very emotionally intelligent. So whatever components of emotional intelligence that we talk about, becoming self-aware, knowing who you are, what your core values are, beliefs are, principles are, non-negotiables are, boundaries are, who you are. How do you put yourself out in the world? Being self-aware of that. When things do not go right in life, how you regulate yourself, cope up with it. How do you remain resilient and self-motivated? How do you empathize with people? And how do you develop the social skills to maintain the right kind of relationships? All of these things come up with people who are in the secure attachment style. Another important offshoots that come up with this particular point is that these people are very trusting. Even if somebody breaks their trust, they don't go on the spiral like, oh, now I cannot trust anybody. For some time they may feel that way, but they know how to cope up with it and then come back to the point where they are able to trust again, but they're also able to discern not to trust the same person, not to fall for the same trap. So they don't stop trusting people. They only learn when not to trust or when not to just blindly go and fall for the same thing. So it's not that they're afraid to make mistakes. They are more like they don't repeat the same mistakes. That doesn't mean that they don't have trust. They have absolutely unconditional amount of trust on themselves, on other people, especially on themselves, because the ownership and responsibility comes back to them. That how do they respond to things? Because anybody can break your trust anytime in life. They have a good understanding of how to maintain intimate relationships. They are very affectionate. They are very compassionate, empathetic to people. Empathy, as in they have the capacity to see people from, see life from other people's shoes at times when it is required. So they have that kind of empathy, and they are respectful. They are capable enough to be vulnerable with people. So they are not afraid that in case they open up and what the heck is going to happen, the whole world is going to fall down and it's all going to be a mess, and I'm going to be judged, and I'm going to be what the other person is going to think. If they want to express, they just express. With, of course, the awareness, who they are expressing to, what is the place, where are they standing, when are they expressing, right time, not. All of these things are there. So these points are set up properly, being made aware of properly. But then it's not that they operate from the space of fear that I cannot be vulnerable. So being vulnerable is not an issue. They feel very safe and secure in their own skin. They're very grounded and clear about where they are, where they stand in life. Another important thing is they know how to set healthy boundaries. Healthy boundaries is very much linked to being vulnerable. When you're able to tell the other person who you are, what you believe, and take a stand and defend yourself for what you stand for. So they know how to set a healthy boundary. Now, setting a healthy boundary comes with a lot of assertiveness. And what it means to be assertive is not that I'm right and you are wrong. Being assertive simply means this is how I feel about this, or this is how I think about this. Now, if there's a feedback, opinion, communication that the other person needs to do, They are open to listen to it, right? But that at no point means that they need to change their viewpoints. So they're open to take feedback, and set healthy boundaries where it is required. They are capable of asking things clearly. They're capable of communicating things clearly and responding to things clearly. And last and very important point in this list of people who have secure attachment style, they believe in win-win. They believe in evolving and growing together. So it's not so they even if they are competitive, they believe in healthy competition. They don't get into the trap of comparing themselves too much and beating themselves that oh my god, now this person has this car, I don't have it, so oh my god, my life is meaningless. They know how to make meaning out of their lives, and they believe in win-win. So my good, your good. Hmm? Because they don't have to step over the other person to win in something. And life's perspective, life's angle to view at life is not that I have to win, so others have to lose for me to win. We both can win. Hmm? And we can always in relationships figure out ways in which both the parties can win. So that's that. They believe in growing and evolving together, and seeing what is the best that can be brought out of the situation. So those are a few important characteristics that I can think about when it comes to people with secure attachment style. I can talk for another hour. There are so many different things that come up in this topic, and how secure attachment style people actually look like. So now let's have communication. Let's talk about this topic. Which of the pointers did you guys connect with? Which one did you feel that I'm still doubtful in this? Before we go forward, Akarma, anything that I missed out that you would like to add for everybody else?
No, I don't. No, no, nothing comes to my mind right now. I think you've covered it. As you said that it's not a full list, but I think, as you have said many times before, also that even if we can approach some of these and get these things working in our life, then there's always more that we can do and improve. So these pointers are good enough as a starting point to make sure that we are applying them in our day-to-day life and in our various relationships, whether it's at work or it's in personal life, wherever it is. It's more about observing these qualities and keeping that in mind. So the journey from insecure to secure attachment style uh, is kind of backwards. You can think of it this way, that it's not about first doing this and then becoming a secure attachment style. It is about understanding these are the qualities of a secure attachment style person, and I want to do this. And I want to, let's say for example, someone picks a point saying, I want to create win-win situation. So you may not be able to do it right now, you may not know how to do it, or you may have whatever the case is. That's not the point here, that whether you can do it or not do it. The point is, you resonate that this is what needs to happen. This will be good if we can come up with a situation where we can create win-win. Then that is the thing. Many a times some people will say, yeah, I want to do it, but the other person doesn't want to do it, and this and that. That's all fine, right? um, the intention over here is that I want to do it, and I would like to see how I can do it. And then in order for me to do it, now I am observing certain hesitations, certain resistance, and whatever is coming in my way for me to not be able to do it. When I clearly understand, this is what I need to do, this is what I want to do, this is how I want to live my life. So when we clearly understand it and we want to do it, then the journey is kind of backwards to say what is stopping me from doing it. where is the gap. So I fully understand this I need to do. If the gap is I don't know how to do it, then that's more like a technical thing as such. It's more like learning about it. But if it's not technical in nature, it is more about I feel hesitation, I feel afraid, I feel insecure about doing this. That is the work. That then you have hit the area that needs to be worked upon, that needs to be addressed.